Hey, welcome back. This is going to be our fourth video when it comes to the cutting and decoding of various machines. So last video we worked on the Gymkana 994 when it comes to calibrating, tips and tricks when it comes to tools used, and then also showing like in real time damaging that tracer and seeing what codes pop up or what error, and then how to fix it. So if you have any questions on that or calibration in general, go ahead and check out that video below. Links will be in the description, but then also you feel free to ask questions. I'm here basically for you via email along with the rest of my organization. But today we want to talk about the next step. So we think about this. We already understand like what the Gymkana can do. Basically, we understand how to calibrate so it's like ready for any sort of keys we can do. But now it comes down to what type of keys, and then how do we pick that year selection or that vehicle selection, because there are various options. So a really good example off the top of my head, if we look at like a Toyota, you have a Toyota which is a turnkey, and then the newer ones are a push start. The metal keys in there are going to be obviously totally different when it comes to like an edge cut or like a inside like emergency key cut. But if we don't know how to differentiate those keys, the Gymkana will get very confused. Again, like last video, I bent that tracer and the thing just basically shut down like, whoa, I don't know what's going on. And it costs me time and money to recalibrate it. So if you are picking the wrong year range, one, you're gonna get wrong codes, and then two, you might be wasting inventory or damaging the product or the machine. So you just want to avoid that. Another really good example is if you look at like the Chevy Silverado 2015 is when they have like high security blade. It's like a GMK 800. And then like the Chevy Colorado 2019, it's going to go from like a 10 cut to an 8 cut. But if you mix them up and like you make a favorite option, which I did in the past, I made favorites, and it would say, hey, the wrong code, and hit the back end. So that's where you want to make sure, again, don't make shortcuts. The shortcut or the favorite option was a shortcut, but I noticed had issues, especially for Toyota keys. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not really going to cover that because I see that it's not beneficial. It caused me to go back and fix it versus just simple. So let's go ahead and see what we see here. So just for example purposes, we have an edge cut Toyota. This would be like a Tundra 2000, 16, 18, in that range. Gymkana can cut this. Then we look at a Toyota, and this could be, in the, I would say like the 12 or earliest 2009 to 2013, 14, 15, in that range. Simple key. And then we have like a 2018, 20 type key. They look the same on the ends. Oh, they're totally different. But see how one is thick? And this one you'd cut two sides. And this one, there's that ribbon, you cut only one side. So if you put the wrong keys in there, the Gymkana will get confused and it will cause damage. Ideally, you want to cut these on the key line 303. You'll be done faster than it can decode. But for educational purposes, we're going to go ahead and look at the Toyota and the Silverado or the Chevy options, so you get a better understanding of these different cuts and these options. So let's go ahead and look at a Toyota series. So you have Toyota, and let's just look at what pops up. So let's just look at a Camry. So Camry have all these different year ranges. So we have some old school 83 to 91. Let's go ahead and look at that next, and let's go ahead and look at direct. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a shoulder stop. So let's go back and let's look at decode. Yeah, a shoulder stop. That's where it's going to work in that valley I told you to clean. So it's a very short stubby key. Is that going to work with this key? No, unfortunately not. So let's go back and look at the next year. So a 92 to 2001 and direct. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cuts versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cuts. So it's different. Just they make it more advanced the older and newer it gets, I guess. So let's go back And let's go ahead and look at, this is a valet key. So valet key, direct, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool, that would be somewhat in the correct path. And decode, cool. And that would, the valet would affect the front. And let's look at master. So we see 2002, 2018. So a good rule of thumb, if it's a turnkey, pick a large option, the biggest year range like this. So if they say, hey, it's a 2015 Toyota blank, don't just pick, or sorry, if it's a 2010, don't pick this option, because if we look at this, oh, that's totally different. That's going to be a key like that, totally different. So if it's a turnkey, you want to pay attention and look at the biggest year range. So 2002 to 18, that's your best bet. Now, if we look at that key we just looked at, and then we look at this one, it says slim cut. So this is going to be a slim cut. See how it's so slim, hence the name, versus the other. So you cut these side that you see, you only cut this side that you see. You can't cut anything there. So that's where you want to pay attention. And now if we look at this option and decode, it says put it to U1. So let's just say we put this one to U1, the thicker one. And let's go back and look at the slim cut and decode. We put it at U2. So see how they are different lengths? That's where you want to pay attention to these options to make sure. Otherwise, you're going to damage your Gymkana. And let's go ahead and look at a master key. That's a 2012 to 22. And okay, so that's going to be like a key like this. Okay. Let's go look at a Chevy, and let's just say Silverado. There's so many options. Now, if we look, we're going to see an S10 pickup, Silverado 1500, Silverado 1500 Classic, and then 2500, 3500. So which one do we pick? The most common is going to be the Silverado 1500. So let me just go back to that. So if we click on this, oh, there's different year ranges. So being that it's this blade, this time range, this is most likely going to be the high security center cut. Let's look. Yes, that'd be in the center. But let's say if we went back and let's just say we just clicked on Silverado. Oh, see how the year ranges? It goes up to a 13. So let's just look at this. So a 7 to 13, that's going to be like a GM key 750. Know for a fact. We click on direct. Yep, it's going to be that cut. But let's say if we go back to like a 2006 to 99, let's look at that. Okay, that looks very similar. And let's go back and look at the older ones. Okay, go 99 to 2006. Let's go back and look at the S10 pickup. Whoa. So we have 82 to 94 across the board. Now these things I'm not quite sure, but if you understand the concept of looking at the year range and counting the cuts, cool. That's going to be a single side, one side cut. And we could do like something like that. That wouldn't work. But we can do something like that, and that's for those old school trucks. And let's go back again, and let's look at this S10. That's even older. Okay, so it's like in the mid-range. Let's go ahead and look at this one. Okay, cool. So we just looked at the whole like Chevy key range. We have high security, we have an edge cut, then a single edge cut, all these different options. So that's where you want to like make sure you look up the make, model, and year, and also match the keys. If you don't match the keys, you will have problems. The tracer, which is delicate, will get bent and damaged. Everything lined up correctly when it comes to the lines here, so the tracer and the cutter can work correctly. If this is not lined up in the right spot, you can have problems, but also there are times where you can trick it and go further past to make it work for some of those keys with the shoulders, which I'll show and explain in the videos linked below. Well, I hope that makes sense when it comes to how to use the machine, when it comes to the year, the make, and the model, so you can better find out what key is going to work. A really good example of like the generations of Nissans and the generations of like the Chevy, like the GM type keys. So as long as you pay attention and you know what you're looking at, that's where when you're talking to that customer, you want to make sure you know their vehicle. If they're not sure, it doesn't hurt you to go look and check before you cut and make the wrong cut or damage inventory or damage their vehicle. So like the old rule of saying measure twice, cut once, same thing. Double check, make sure like you hold the keys up, with this key blank work with their key, make sure it works before you just go in there and you decode it blindly. So you always want to measure first. It doesn't cost you time to spend that 1 minute to just double check and look. But if you have any questions, go ahead and check out the description below. I will have my email on there, so if you have questions or pictures of what you've seen, you can email that to me and we can go ahead and have that conversation, and maybe we can have a resolution to figure out what's going on and help you. And you can help me so I can learn and get better. Other than that, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends that are kind of in the same business. Again, like I mentioned in the first video, the whole goal of this video series is not just to help me or just you, but the locksmith community as a whole. So we look more professional and look better in front of those customers, so we're not damaging their property, damaging keys, our inventory, wasting time, and just looking sloppy. If we know how to use our machines and get the job done in 10 minutes instead of 30 minutes, great. At the end of the day, they're happy, we're happy, and we have repeat customers. So that's what we want to do. Remember, word of mouth is very fast. It could be very good or very bad. So that's where we want to like really focus on perfecting what we can do and always be learning. So other than that, have a great day and stay tuned for the next video where we're going to jump into the various keys and then more options for this. It'll be a short video, so I already have examples on like the tricks and tips. Cool. I will see you next time. Have a great day and see you then. Bye.